Hello, here we are back in my studio. There's Queenie and Algernon, just relaxing a little bit in the corner. And I have got another relaxing drawing exercise to try. And today, it's all about circles. So this actually is, I think, a mindfulness practice. Drawing a circle in one movement. Which is actually really hard to get a perfect circle. Legend has it that Leonardo da Vinci could do it. Now none of us are Leonardo da Vinci, so our circles are not going to be perfect, but it doesn't matter. So I thought it could be fun to experiment with different ways of doing this circle. So obviously both hands. I'm right-handed. I'm going to give my left hand a go now. Oh, it's going very big. That's my left hand circle. Try another one. Little one. There. A fast circle. A slow circle. I could go even slower, couldn't I? Really slow circle. It's hard, isn't it? Fast is hard to get right. Well, I shouldn't say right. To get more circular. I find medium speed the easiest for me. You can try, another thing you can try, like here I'm resting my hand on the paper as I do it, so it's just my fingers moving. So that's one way. What about if I pick my hand up and just the pen is touching? Just the tip of the pen touching. How does that feel? It's different, isn't it? And your whole hand is moving. Or trying to move from the elbow. That's interesting. How about how we're actually feeling? So I'm going to try taking 3 deep breaths and see if my circles are any different after that, because 3 deep breaths will hopefully ground me a little bit. There's my circle after my 3 deep breaths. Quite like that. How about trying with the ink? I'll try 3 really slow deep breaths all the way down to the bottom of my lungs and all the way out 3 times. That's quite nice with the brush. So deep breaths before you can try, and just thinking about your breathing as you make the circle. So you're not holding your breath, you're breathing. And I like them with the brush because it's a little bit more fluid. I wonder if I can do something else that might have an effect on how my circle comes out. Okay, I'm going to go for 5 star jumps and then a circle. That's my circles after my star jumps. They're a little bit more dynamic, or am I imagining things? It's fun to try. How about a handstand? A handstand and then some circles. 10-second handstand, wobbly circles. Wobbly circles and coughing. Okay, how about if I tense every muscle in my body and then try and do some circles? tense circles. So I'm relaxing now, but I tensed every muscle for a count of 10. Slightly heavier circles, I think. These ones are. So they're just things to experiment with. And maybe see what's in your head as you paint circles. Little bubbles. What thoughts are floating to the surface as you do this? You can just let those thoughts float in and float out. So as we're getting more and more circles on the page, you start to see interesting things happen as the circles overlap, the spaces between them. So it's relationships again, the relationships between the circles, the sizes, lighter and darker, stronger lines, softer lines, wobbly lines, confident lines. There's a place for all of them. Going over a few of them here. Little circles. And as always, the tricky thing is knowing when to stop. Whenever it feels right to you. So yeah, have a play with circles. Got a couple of other examples. These were quite quick scribbly ones. And obviously they're not circular, they're more squashed. They're ellipses. And you've got all the colouring in potential as well for working into something there. Here you've got where the circles, on this side the circles don't touch, so that's a game of like putting circles in but none of them touch. And this side they're overlapping. And as they overlap, you can kind of get a little bit of a journey or a little bit of a line of interlinking circles. And this is quite a fun one if you've got some pastels or some oil pastels and some black paper. So it really is turning them into bubbles. So they're white circles, and then just using some rainbow colours for a bit of shading, like you get in a bubble, and then highlights. And the highlights, if you want to look realistic-ish, put the highlights on pretty much the same side each time, because the source of light, then you're imagining that the source of light is on one side. So as always, there's infinite possibilities. Just keep on going. It's never going to be perfect, and that's the beauty of it.